Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and today we are talking about, well, something we've been speaking about on this channel for quite a while now, and this is GameCube coming to NSO. I know I've been shut down a lot by other content creators, including some commenters, but the evidence keeps piling up until we actually get it. And there's one more piece of evidence that just came up over the weekend. We're going to talk about it in this video, but at the end have something even bigger that could be coming soon to Nintendo fans everywhere. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and get started. But before, if you are brand new here, this is just a little bit about me. Maybe consider subscribing. If not, go ahead and use the timestamps below to skip through the main topic. Let's get started. So before we get into today's stories, you see, I want to ask you one thing. I want to ask for your subscription. You see, I'm legally blind and I'm basically losing my sight as we go. I don't have sight on my left eye and I have about 40% sight of my right eye, and it's just fading away, right? The doctors right now have nothing else they can do, but I have a dream to become a full-timer on YouTube by the end of this year. And I want to ask you for your help. If you subscribe to this channel right now, it'll only take a second. For me, it'll just change my life. So if you could do that right now, I would really appreciate it. Here, we have Monday through Friday Nintendo news. On the weekends, we have products and reviews. And we also have the occasional in-topic podcast with your favorite voice actor. So I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. And I just want to thank you in advance for giving me your subscription. Let's move on to today's stories. Without wasting your time any further, let's go ahead and start reading here from the actual leak. And this was basically posted on FamiBoards. All right, a user on FamiBoards, Luigi Blood, posted some custom shipping data. And this was discovered to be possible references to a GameCube controller with similar code names and parts to previous NSO controllers like the NES controller, the Super Nintendo controller, the Sega controller. Continues to read here, another user, Lick, backed this up, but both users still had reservation about what this means. Even though this is coming from a public shipping data, kudos to those willing to take the time to do it. I still put this flare as a rumor since nothing is confirmed till an official announcement or a more specific leak of what this means. You have to be registered. Source, Luigi Blood post and Lick post. First up, shout out to my buddy Nate for bringing this up. Basically, I saw this first on his channel, and then now I'm making my video, giving you my opinions, and of course, sharing my finds with you just to back this information up, right? And so, right here, the second part calls my attention because it says here, yeah, let's consider this a rumor since nothing is really confirmed yet. Of course, until Nintendo confirms it, but it also says, or until a more specific leak, right? Until a more specific leak makes the rounds. Now, how about I share with you a more specific leak? Let's go ahead and do that right now. That more specific leak, right? All you got to do is go to my channel and type GameCube into the search. That's not how you type GameCube. GameCube into the search, right? And when you do that, right, you type GameCube there, and then you see all of my GameCube videos that I have here. They all have different sources, okay? Now, the one that I want to go to here is from 5 months ago. It's called GameCube Confirmed, coming to NSO. Maybe for Switch 2, right? It could be for Switch 2, who knows? But 5 months ago, all right, you guys gave me pretty good views, 10,000 views. And I want to go ahead and share with you just a little bit of this video to give you a glimpse here. So order a Switch. All right, so that's going to do it for that news. Let's move on to today's main story, which has to do with NSO. Yes, you read the title. You saw the thumbnail. I had so much fun building it because to me, this is the most exciting piece of information that I can share with you. Yes, GameCube is coming to NSO. Mike, how dare you make such crazy predictions or statements on your channel, Mike? I'm subscribed. But before you do, let me go ahead and show you one little thing here. Yes, it's a patent. A patent issues information that, well, it kind of confirms that Nintendo is actually doing something behind the scenes, right? And so, all right, so I'm going to pause it right there because I want to show you what this actually is. It's a trademark, not a patent. That's the patent, but it's a trademark, all right? And now, what is this trademark for? First thing was filed on January 23rd, 2024, okay? And there are 3 of them. There are 3 of them for the GameCube controller, my friends. And they see here, you see the outline of the GameCube controller. You see here the actual button layout for the GameCube controller on the right side, right? And then you see here the actual game controller kind of filled in the grayscale, right? And so you look at the date here, January 29th, 2024, basically around the time I released that video. And this is a post that I made on Twitter. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, this is where I actually drop a lot of these things here, a lot of the patents and trademarks before I even make a video. Sometimes I don't make a video and I just drop them here, so you should follow me here to keep up to date. But if you look at something here, very similar, right? We have the outline of the actual GameCube controller. We have the outline of the actual NES or Super Nintendo controller right here, the actual controller here, the outline there. And if we look at this right here, what do we have? We have the outline, we have the solid one right here, then we have the color one. And so these are basically the same icons that we have here. These are the icons that you find when you pair your controller or, on to NSO. And so this is what you see on your Switch. And so here we have the same exact icons, but for GameCube. And that's what Nintendo is basically patenting or trademark, marking at this time and period, the 23rd of January of 2024. And so this goes along the lines of that same exact post for the shipping. So if you wanted more proof, more leaks that GameCube was coming to NSO, then here you have it. This one I published it on the 29th of January. And if you look at here, this was on the 23rd. So I really published it literally days after this was actually released. And so here is the similarities for what we have now for controllers, and this is what we going to have here. And then of course this is the leak now for the GameCube controller. It all has to do with the controller. And one thing I want to note here, right? This post here says it was discovered to be possible references to a GameCube controller with similar code names to previous NSO controllers, right? Now, if it has similar code names to previous NSO controllers, why wouldn't it be an NSO controller if it has already a similar code name? What else are you looking for here to prove something, right? There's already been a pattern established that NSO controllers have a certain code name because we have more than one NSO controller. We have the Nintendo one, we have the Super Nintendo one, we have the Nintendo 64 one, and we have the Sega Genesis one. We have 4 NES controllers, and so it's easy to follow a pattern when we have so many controllers out there with the same code name or a similar code name. And so this, along with this, all right, and you can see here, same thing for that, is basically just confirmation that, yeah, we are getting, and I'm going to continue to say it, yes, we are getting Nintendo Switch, Nintendo GameCube on Nintendo Switch. I'm going to leave this link down below in the comments, that video, so you guys can check it out in its entirety. I do go more in depth in the video on that. And so there you have it, my friends. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next adventure here at the Odyssey. But before I let you go, never give up and journey on. Peace.